Hello students. One student requested me to solve the problem number 69. So here I'm going to solve only C part. So here we have A dot F multiplied D cross B. So as you can see, first one is a dot product or scalar product. Second one is a cross product or vector product. Okay. Moreover, we have given values. We have a vector. Let me draw it. So we have a vector. So the magnitude of a vector is 10. Okay, which is also has an angle theta, which is 30 degree. Okay, then we have a b vector. We have a b vector. So let me draw the b vector here. We have b vector. Now the b vector has a magnitude of 5. Okay, and angle of b vector is 53. We also have a d vector. D vector, the magnitude of d vector is equal to 20, and angle is 37 degrees. And finally we have f vector. We have f vector. The magnitude of f vector is equal to 20, and angle is 30 degree. Okay, now let's start solving this problem. First of all, we have to find a dot product between a dot f. Okay, so let me just write it down here. A dot f, this is a dot product, so therefore you will have a multiplied to the f, an angle between them, which is cos theta. Okay, now what is the angle between a and f? So that's what we have to find them. So AF, okay, so that means our f vector, we're going to transfer it here. Okay, which is f vector is this one. Now the angle between them, as you can see, angle will be 180 degree, right? So we can say that a dot f is equal, a vector is equal to the 10 multiplied f is equal to 20 and cos 180 degree. Now if you do calculation, 10 multiplied 20 multiplied cos 180 will give you minus 200. Okay, now let's find the cross products. Now in the cross product we have D cross B. Now since we know that our planes is only in x and y coordinate, okay, so as you know that D cross B will give you D multiplied B multiplied sine theta, and in this case I cross J will give you K vector. Okay, so now let's bring together D and B vectors. Okay, so what is our D vector? Okay, D vector is here, and then B vector is there. So let me join these two vectors. Our B vector. Okay, so the angle is 53. Now obviously you know that this angle becomes 90 degree. Okay, so therefore we can say that D cross B d is equal to 20 multiplied b is equal to 5 and sine is equal to 90-degree k vector, okay, which will give you 100k. Now here you have to keep in mind one thing, okay. Now since our b and the d is not exactly in a x and y, okay, suppose if our vector, okay, suppose if our vector was b here, which is exactly in a I vector, and then our d vector is exactly on a j vector, then in this case we know that when you multiply when we're finding the cross product, so j vector multiplied to the I vector, it should give you negative k vector, correct? Now if it's opposite, if our b vector is here, okay, I vector is here, then if our d j vector was here, then we can say that j will be in the negative, I will be on the positive. So in this case, okay, negative j vector multiplied positive I vector, then you should get positive k vector, okay. So therefore we can just say here that it might be positive or negative 100k vector. And finally you just have to multiply them, which is minus 200 multiplied to the plus minus 100k vector, okay. So the final answer, you should get that it should be plus minus 20,000 k vector.